Everybody, T.C. Bradley, host of the hottest TV show on the planet, God Made Millionaire TV, and I've been waiting all week for you, yes you, to show up tonight for tonight's show. And what a show we have lined up for you tonight. We have, starting off, Sonia Dunbar. Sonia is an anointed woman of God on purpose and on assignment. She is known worldwide as the geriatric tooth fairy, and she is making a difference, making a dent in the universe with her God-given assignment. Next up is Dr. Jeff Radford. Dr. Jeff Radford is on a mission to share his God-given dream to the nations. Not only is Dr. Jeff a healthcare executive, but he's a national speaker, published author, and leadership developer. So without any further ado, let's go into the set and see my good friend, Sonia Dunbar. Sonia, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I am thrilled that you have agreed to come on the show and share your incredible assignment that God has given you. You know, I believe, Sonia, that God has given everybody a unique purpose and a unique assignment. Tell us a little bit more about your assignment and what God has given you to do.
Thank you, CC. My purpose and passion has collided with my profession as a dental hygienist. Years ago, my grandmother was placed in a nursing home. I noticed that they weren't taking care of her teeth. Being a dental hygienist, knowing the diseases connected to poor oral care in seniors and long-term care facilities. Oral care is so important. It's linked to dementia, cardiovascular disease, and even pneumonia. So my husband and I, Gerald Dunbar, we developed a mobile dental practice that provides.
Wait a minute. The Bishop. You're talking about the Bishop.
The Bishop.
All right.
Yes. We developed a mobile dental company where we provide oral care to residents in long-term care facilities. We do cleanings, extractions, and fillings right on site. But it's so important to take care of people's teeth as they age. So that's what we do. We help prevent people from dying from diseases linked to poor oral care.
Okay, so you have a company, you and your husband have built a company directly around this product and service that you're providing to the senior community.
Absolutely. We have dentists, assistants, and hygienists, and we take all of that equipment into the nursing home. We set up just like it's a normal dental office, and we provide dental care right next to them in their bed, in their wheelchair, or even in a little private setting. Also, I'm an international speaker. We speak all around the world, educating and communicating the importance of oral care for elders when they age, because so many people just neglect and forget our seniors, and they're our greatest generation. We cannot forget them.
Right. The seniors are the forgotten generation.
Yes.
Our senior population. And let me tell you something. Do you believe that there's a special blessing on those that will minister to the seniors, to the forgotten generation?
Yes. It takes a special person to deal with seniors. You have to have patience. It's not always the easiest. I get bit, I get spit on, I get kicked, I get called names. But if it's in your heart, if it's a God-given gift, it comes easy for you. So everybody can't do that.
Say that again.
If it's a God-given gift, it's gonna be easy. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna have trials and tribulations, but you have to have that determination, and you have to have that persistence in you to press on. It hasn't been a total easy road, but it's worth it.
Yes.
And I'm determined to help save as many seniors as I can.
And we're not bagging on, you're not sitting here bagging on nursing facilities.
No.
What we're saying is that there's a forgotten generation that there, but by the grace of God, go you or I someday, right?
Yeah, if we're blessed to live long enough.
Right. So, you know, there's a forgotten generation that needs ministering to, that needs oral care is a foundational, because you brought this up at the beginning of the segment, talking about bad oral care leads to so many
systemic diseases,
to diseases and health issues. Can you talk a little bit more about
Think
that?
about a TC.
Right.
When we go to our regular doctors, the first thing he looking is our eyes, our ears, and our mouth. If your mouth isn't healthy, your whole body isn't healthy. The mouth is the gateway to the body. So it's so important that we keep our oral health together, especially as we age. Studies have even shown recently that dementia has been directly linked to poor oral care. So imagine a frail, vulnerable senior in a nursing home not getting the basic oral care, their teeth brushed. They're more susceptible to dementia. So we have to provide oral care to our seniors in nursing homes. They cannot be forgotten.
And it is forgotten.
Yes.
So you have a nonprofit organization.
Yeah, we have a nonprofit where we provide free dentures and oral care, and we even take care of our veterans.
How are you able to do that as a nonprofit?
People donate money to our nonprofit organization to help raise money for our mobile van and for veterans and seniors who cannot afford basic oral care.
Give us an example of somebody that you've helped.
This is a story that I shared on my TED Talk. I walked into the nursing home. The staff asked me to see one of the residents who had been there for 5 months. No one could get in her mouth, and she had a mouth odor. When I went to her room, I could smell the odor when I went to the door. When I opened the door, the lady had to be about 80-something years old. When she let me get into her mouth, I immediately noticed that she had dentures. When I removed the denture from her mouth, it was black mold on it. Tears of shame and pain rolled down her face. No vulnerable, frail adult should ever have to live in that condition. She had dementia. She didn't even remember to take out her dentures. That could have been my mother.
Could have been your mother.
That could have been my grandmother.
Yes.
So these are the conditions. I'm not blaming, crystal clear, any CNA or anybody who dedicates their life to taking care of a senior. They're angels.
Right.
But there needs to be proper training. And that's what I do. There needs to be education there to help them, guide them through that process. I'm a dental hygienist. That's what I went to school for. So no one should have to live like that. And that was one of the worst conditions that I've seen. But that happens daily.
How can people help? How can people are sitting right now at home? They've heard this story now, Sonia, and they're going, I can't go in that nursing home. I can't go in that nursing home room, but I can send you.
Absolutely.
Or I can send somebody that you've raised up and trained to do this.
Absolutely.
How can people get behind this incredible dream that God has given you?
First thing, if you have a dentist, ask your dentist, are they interested in doing public health? Because a lot of dentists haven't even thought about it.
Right.
Maybe your personal dentist will be interested in doing that. We do consulting to help dentists go out, and we help them get their equipment and help them get into nursing homes. Also, we're in the process of expanding our company. They can donate to our nonprofit organization. And that would help us provide more oral care to seniors in long-term care facilities by getting them dentures made. It will also allow us to provide oral care for veterans and that need dental care.
What an incredible cause and a great passion. What I want you to be able to do now is look into the camera at home. You're on fire, sis. You are on fire. God has anointed you and appointed you in this very hour. I want to give you an opportunity to speak to the nations, speak to over 200 nations right now. This word that's burning within you, you were pacing before you even came on set.
Yes.
So I want you to be able to share that word right now. Here's
Thank
your
you.
moment in time.
Thank you, TC.
Take it.
The first thing I want to do is drop a nugget for you. If you develop a cold, the flu, or even, God forbid, COVID-19, from me, the geriatric tooth fairy, change your toothbrush every day. That's just a nugget to help us all stay healthy during these uncertain times. But if God has given you a purpose and a passion in you to help save or help minister or do anything for someone, don't look at your money. Don't look at your bank account. And sometimes you can't even look at your friends. People thought that we were crazy. I had to let go of friends and family members to be thrust forth into my purpose and passion. So now we're saving seniors all over the world from dying from deplorable oral care conditions in nursing homes. So if God has put something in you to do to help save someone, do it. Don't look at your surroundings. Put your blinders on and look at Jesus, because he's the one that can help you get there. Thank you, TC, for this opportunity to minister on this platform to help save our seniors from dying from poor oral care. We need help in our long-term care facilities. There's no reason for someone to die because they're not using a toothbrush.
You know, you've lifted the veil I want to thank you for coming, but
Thank you.
You have lifted the veil on this, and I think there's going to be people that are watching this segment, and they're going to be in one of two categories. You're going to be in the category of they're in the dental profession right now, and they're like, we need to bring you out, because they're just focused on building a successful practice.
Right.
And in their own communities, in their own neighborhoods, there are people that need service.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And they're forgotten about.
They're forgotten
and
about.
you're shining a light. You're being their voice. How powerful is that?
Thank you.
And then there's the people that go, you know what? I don't have that calling, but I love what you and your husband are doing. We want to get behind you and support you. So we're going to drop that down below.
You.
Tell us about the book that you've written as well.
I've written 27 short stories that seniors have shared with me during my journeys into providing oral care in nursing homes. So many stories go to the grave with seniors. So we've been able to capture their stories and what actually goes on in their lives once they go into long-term care facilities. It's an amazing book.
And we're going to drop a link to that as well on your website. They can order that from your website.
Absolutely.
Will you come back and see me sometime?
Yes. When I've gotten to be in your book, one of those 1,000 millionaires, we'll be right back at you.
So God's called you to be one of the 1,000 God made million.
I'm one of the 1,000.
Raise that toothbrush up, baby girl. Thank you so much. And you'll come back and see me.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you. Next up is Dr. Jeff Radford. Dr. Jeff Radford is on a mission to share his God-given dream to the nations. Not only is Dr. Jeff a healthcare executive, but he's a national speaker, published author, and leadership developer. He's also the pioneer and creator of Merciful Leadership. So, without any further ado, let's go on to the set right now with Dr. Jeff. Dr. Jeff, welcome to the show.
TC, it's great to be here.
Dr. Jeff, I have to tell you, I'm incredibly honored, but I'm incredibly excited that you have agreed to come on our show today. And you've written this incredible book, Mercy Leader.
Amen.
It's such an anointed title. Tell us a little bit about your book.
You know, TC, back in 2007, God birthed Mercy Leader into my heart. And unfortunately, like a lot of people, I sat on that dream. But until recently, I wanted to kind of revive that dream and get that out there. And really, Mercy Leader is the only style of leadership in the nations that talks about forgiveness and leadership. You know, as a Christian, Christ forgave me for my sins. And as a leader, why can't I extend that to people that I serve? And so that's what that's about. It's the unique part of leadership that incorporates forgiveness.
Well, let me tell you something. I have been in business for most of my adult life. And business, to me, it's a contact sport. It can be brutal.
Oh, yeah.
In business.
Right.
It can be unforgiving.
Sure.
In business. And here you are. God has laid this on your heart to write this book on mercy leadership. And before we go and do a deep dive on that, tell us a little bit about you and your background.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I am a preacher's son. So I grew up in the church. I've seen my dad as a leader in the church. And as I've evolved into my career, so I started out in healthcare. I'm a registered nurse. I'm also a healthcare executive. And so as a CEO of a hospital, I've been around a lot of leaders in different styles of leadership. And so I really felt like that as I've evolved into this career, God's really put this uniqueness of leadership into my heart to share to the nations. And that's why I'm here today, is to share Mercy Leader to the nations.
Right, but before you do that, you're the CEO of a hospital.
Absolutely.
God has raised you up to be a CEO of a hospital. You want to shout out your hospital group?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're watching.
Oh, absolutely. Select Specialty Hospital Tri-Cities there in Bristol, Tennessee. I also support 3 other hospitals. I'm a regional CEO. So I work for Select Medical, which is a great company, and I've been very blessed to be with them.
Right. Now, you also pastor a church.
I'm a little bit busy, TC, so so I serve.
Throw a shout out to your church.
Adoration Church of God. I just am been there for years. I'm an administrative pastor there, so I serve those people during the week and on the weekend. I'm very blessed to do that, as well as a CEO of the hospital.
Right. Well, congratulations on that. Let's shift on into this topic on leadership. Obviously, God has raised you up
Absolutely.
in this hour and given you a message on mercy leadership. So When did he give you that dream? When did he birth that into you? I'm curious about that part
absolutely.
of the
I was
story.
working on my doctorate degree through Regent University, and I had to write a doctoral project. So I really searched to see what was the right type of project, the correct one. I wanted to pass TC, so I had to find the right topic. But really, as I started to research leadership, which is what my degree is in, there's nothing else about forgiveness in leadership. And so I really felt God was calling me to pen something about forgiveness and leadership. And so he did. And so I completed that project. But as I've kind of evolved over my leadership career and evolved as a Mercy leader, I've seen that in this country, especially in this country, there needs to be more value for employees. Love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, those type of things, servanthood. And so as I've looked at those and tried to combine those characteristics together, this new version, Mercy Leader, comes out, and I'm challenging leaders. I'm challenging leaders, TC, to be a mercy leader, not to just be a leader and to be a boss or a judgmental leader or someone that points your finger at people and say, do this, but to show forgiveness and show value, because I think people in this day and time are really wanting to work for someone that really values them as a team member and not just a number in the organization.
Right. Here's what I want to talk to you about, right? Because you talk about mercy, leadership, and you talk about forgiveness. Mm-hmm. Vicki and I entered into a partnership with a partner with the first company that we built. We built it to $1.3 million in sales in the first 6 months of business. And he was running the administrative side of our company. We were running the sales side of the company. He terminated our partnership within 6 months. Now, you're talking about a valuation of a $10 million company that we lost, to this gentleman. And you talk about mercy leadership. Listen, I wanted to take him to the south side.
Sure.
You talk about forgiveness.
Sure.
Listen, I believe in the Old Testament, the laying on of hands. I wanted to lay hands on that man.
Right.
I'm being candid with you. And there's people that are watching this that had been taken advantage of in business, like my wife and I. And the last thing you want to do is to forgive what you're talking about here. But I knew that if I didn't forgive that man, he had the company, I was determined not to let him have our future.
Right.
Is that what you're talking about, forgiveness in this leadership? Is that part of what you're talking about?
It's part of it, TC, because forgiveness is so powerful.
It is.
It's powerful.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy, and that's the challenge, because in the book that I write about, that it's easy to be judgmental.
Right.
It's easy to write somebody off. It's easy not to address certain things within the organization from a loving perspective or a compassionate perspective, because you'd rather just be done with it and not spend the time on it. But to be a merciful leader, to invest into people, that takes time, that takes a willingness, that takes effort. And if you're not willing to do that, those people may leave the organization. In your own life, just what you did as far as extending forgiveness, that's crucial, because maybe it didn't impact the person that you extended forgiveness to, but it impacted you personally, and now look where you're at. And look what God's doing and what God's blessing you with, because you did the right thing. You extended forgiveness to someone that did something wrong.
Right. If I would not have forgiven that man, I'd be sitting on the bar stool talking about that skunk partner that took my multi-million-dollar company.
Right.
But because I forgave, and I'm going to tell you something, Dr. Jeff, forgiveness for me was not a one-time event with this man. I would have to forgive him every single night. Every single night, because the nighttime was the worst time for me, because then these thoughts came into my head. And I think forgiveness, is it ever wrong in business to walk in this forgiveness spirit?
I don't think it is. And one thing I address in the book, TC, is that sometimes you have to be forgiving to the organization, because there's times where you invest in people and invest in people and invest in people, but they don't want to get better, or they continue to walk down a path that's not good for the organization. So I think forgiveness can be extended in a different way, where you're showing mercy to the organization by helping that person leave. Now that may sound counterintuitive, but it's actually not, because you've extended forgiveness, you've extended love and compassion to that person, but as they continue down that path, that's their choice then, and now you have to protect the organization, so you have to be merciful to the organization.
Right. It's interesting because I find that in business that when I am humble and kind
Right.
and merciful, that it seems like it's always the correct way to go. And on the flip side of that, I like to take them to the south side, right?
Right.
I'm unapologetic. I'm candid. I'm direct. But you're teaching us there's a better way.
Absolutely.
There's a better way. You can still be direct. You can still be candid, but you want to sprinkle that with some mercy. Is what you're
Absolutely.
saying. That's not only is that the better way to go, it's the biblical way to go. Is that
Absolutely.
right?
Exactly right. And that's what Christ has done for me. That's what Christ has done for you. We know his direction. We know his expectations, but he's handed us and given us mercy and forgiveness. And I appreciate that, TC.
Dr. Jeff, do you feel that God is moving in this hour and calling his leaders, especially in the realm of business, to operate in this gift of mercy? Do you think that he's calling people?
Yes, I absolutely do. I really think in this time, because this is a troubled time, if you look around, it's a troubled time, and people are seeking direction. So whether it's in their lives at home or in lives in business, they're seeking direction. And what better way to give it than to give it in a way that God has given it to us, in a way that shows value? And that's really the whole component of merciful leadership, is showing value, showing them that they're valued within the organization, showing them that you care. And when you do that, people want to be there. They want to
Right.
stay there. They want to serve you as a leader.
Right. What do you think God has raised you up in this hour to do? You have a coaching program as well
Right.
that you are coaching business leaders in. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, I'm a leader developer. That's my title. I love leadership development, TC. I love to train people. I train CEOs for my hospital, for my company. I have a COO program at my hospital where I train. And that's my wheelhouse, because I want to encourage people to be better. And when they get better, they bring things to me, TC, that I still learn from. I get better. And so that's really my goal, is to help others, encourage others to get better, to go after their God-given dreams. You know, a few weeks ago, somebody named T.C. Bradley came into my life, and he reignited a passion within me to take my dreams, my God-given dreams, and to open my vault. And that's what I want to do to the nations.
And now you're here. Speaking of the nations, right now this show is being broadcast to over 200 nations, Dr.
Sure.
Jeff. What I want you to do at this moment in time is look into that camera at home, and I want you to speak to over 200 nations, because God has anointed you.
Sure.
And he's appointed you in this very hour, in this very moment, to give them a message of hope, of encouragement,
Absolutely.
of mercy. So take your lead and speak your truth.
Absolutely. It's my honor to be here today and to encourage you. It's my goal to encourage you. You know, I've sat in your chair or your seat. I've watched people on TV. My fuel has been ignited to go after my God-given dream, and then all of a sudden that fuel has burned out because of a lack of commitment on my part. One thing that came to my mind is that you can't be successful on other people's commitment. You have to have your own, and you have to go after it with all the energy and might you have. And I will tell you, it will not make sense at times. And at times, even recently for me, it didn't make sense. But God is calling you to go after your God-given dream, to open your vault, and to let him move in your life. It's not going to make sense. It's not going to come together like you think it is sometimes. But if God's in it, everything is possible.
You get me ready to run
Absolutely.
or run off stage and tackle something.
I may run with you, TC. I may run with you.
Dr. Jeff, I loved having you on the show. Will you come back and see me?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe we are at the end of another show? And do I ever have a word burning for somebody that's watching the show? You know, ladies and gentlemen, my greatest dreams that I've activated, those God-given dreams, none of them would have been activated if I ever walked in unforgiveness. You know, the first company that my wife and I started, we actually brought in a partner to help us bring that company to life. And we built that to a very successful company. Within the first 6 months, we did $1.6 million in sales, only to have our partner terminate the partnership and keep the company. One morning, I woke up. I was the founder of a multi-million-dollar company. The next morning, I was out, gone. It was taken from me. It was humiliating. It was a tough road for me to hoe. But I will tell you this, that I had to forgive my ex-partner. Some of you are watching right now, and the greatest blockage to your blessings right now, the greatest blockage to your activating your God-given dream is that ex-partner, that ex-wife, that person that hurt you and hurt you bad. Listen, I'm not diminishing the hurt. I'm not diminishing whether it was righteous or not. But I'm telling you right now, my only way to get to where I'm at right now, standing before you, is I had to forgive that man. Now listen, I'm from the South Side, baby. I believe in the Old Testament, laying of hands on somebody. And I'm going to tell you, I wanted to lay some hands on that man. But I'm telling you also, too, he had my company. I was determined, you hear me? Not to let that man have my future. Don't you dare let that person have your future by walking in unforgiveness. Listen, my producers are telling me I'm almost out of time, but before we go, you know how we do it here on God Made Millionaire TV. We got to hit our prosperity dance in. Put your shades on, put some attitude on with it. Make sure you walk in forgiveness. Big Mike, hit my music.
Inside the heart of each and every one of us lies a dream, a purpose we were put here on this planet to fulfill, a God-given mission. And when we tap into it, God will unleash unbelievable blessings over our lives, from our family to our finances. T.C. Bradley's new book, God Made Millionaire, will help you bring the abundant riches of the kingdom to all aspects of your life. Order God Made Millionaire today.
If you have been given a God-given dream, now you can wear the most powerful success and prosperity shirt on the planet. Our federally trademarked God-Made Millionaire t-shirt and hoodies. Thou shalt decree and thing, and it shall come to pass is one of the most powerful spiritual laws for activating prosperity and success in your life. And now you can order your very own God-Made Millionaire shirt and wear this powerful success and prosperity decree. God-Made Millionaire TV host T.C. Bradley designed and trademarked these shirts just for himself to wear. But now he's making them available to you, his faithful members of the God Made Millionaire TV Nation. TC wrote his 3 best-selling books and signed the deal for his nationally syndicated TV show while wearing his God Made Millionaire shirts. Our shirts and hoodies are high quality and super soft and can be ordered right now from our GodMadeMillionaire.com website. God Made Millionaire Nation, it's time for you to activate your God-given dream in a big way. Go to GodMadeMillionaire.com and order your official trademarked God Made Millionaire swag right now. These are the hottest success and prosperity shirts on the planet. Again, go to GodMadeMillionaire.com and order your official trademark God Made Millionaire swag right now.